morning, everybody, whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world. This is Coast to Coast, and it's empty house today.
Yeah, it's you know what? I'm doing okay. Last night I went to 9 Inch Nails.
Oh, that's right. How was it?
It was good, actually. I tell you, Trent Reznor sounds exactly the same as he did back in like the '90s.
That's awesome.
You know, it's like it was like surprising, like how well he sounded and how good they sounded. Um, really was like awesome stuff. So it was like um, it was great to go to a concert that I actually knew the music. You know, like lately I've been going to a lot of concerts that I can't stand. You know, like when you go to the Weekend or like Post Malone. Yeah, I don't know those guys. You know, like I couldn't tell you. And my big question is, what's up with all the tattoos on the face?
I do not have an answer for that. Like I've never got it. I've never got the tattooing your face. Like, and I like tats, but if your face looks like one of the ad pages in the Yellow Book, Yellow Pages, I don't know. I don't get it.
I think you just dated yourself pretty badly.
No, 100%, 100%.
Do they have a Yellow Pages still?
They do.
Like there might be yellowpages.com, but
no. They do actually print the book still. I don't have.
They don't do it around here.
Yeah, I don't have one of them, but I know they do because they drop them off at like businesses and stuff.
Yeah, I guess because it's got to be only business to business Yellow Pages is what I would suspect.
I would assume.
I remember the Philadelphia phone book. Just the phone book itself used to be a monster.
Joe.
Like that would be big. And then you'd have the Yellow Pages attached to it, and then it would be like War and Peace.
Yes. Yeah. Especially if they were the combined yellow and white, right? But yeah, I mean, when you look at these guys, it looks like they went in and then they just grabbed the binder and was like, hey, I want all of these, right? Because when you look at the tats, most of the time they don't have anything to do with each other. It's just like random stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I like tats. I've just never really got the let me tattoo my face.
Yeah, not my thing. It is definitely not my thing. But
well, and as a business owner, that's tough, right? Like if you have tats, I don't care. But if they're on your face, I can't send you to people's houses, right? Because you're going to encounter a lot of people that are older than us that don't like tats at all. And then if you have tats on your face, they're like, oh, this guy is a felon for sure.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, I don't get it. And I saw a lot of it yesterday,
Yeah.
And then you have somebody like Trent Reznor who doesn't have a tattoo on his body at all.
Yeah.
Like interestingly, like it's like here it is that they are listening to a guy who is probably one of the world's greatest composers that it's actually alive today.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like you have no idea how many songs he writes. That right now, like I mean, as we think about this and we talk about this, I mean, when you think about composers, you think of Beethoven and Bach and stuff like that. Like that's just immediately what comes to your mind. But like great composers was like Michael Jackson. He was a great composer.
Yes.
We understand. We get it. Dare I say, Taylor Swift is a great composer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trent Reznor, let's say Prince. Prince was an amazing composer.
Yeah.
Elton John and Bernie Taupin.
Yeah. Well, especially when you think of Elton John in the 70s, right? I mean, he came out with an album every 6 months. Yeah, it was insane.
And when you think about these guys as
I don't know if that's on my
like
side or his.
Jay-Z and things like that. Like they are
Oh yeah.
composers. They are composers. Trent Reznor has written songs for just about every artist and every rock group
Mhm.
there is. And you don't even know because like you don't read who wrote this song.
Yes. Yep. And yeah, yeah. Michael Jackson was, obviously he was different because not only was he a fantastic composer, but he was the master of stage presence.
He was the first one to actually make a concert a show
Yeah.
to
Well,
make it an actual like a production show.
and he made music videos, movies. Like they
Yes.
were, I mean, his production value was insane. Even if you take the music end of it out, like his showmanship was unreal.
Yeah. And so and being with somebody now who's been in the music industry, I've had a different type of opinion for different shows. Like for instance, when I went to The Weekend,
Okay.
he had this amazing set. I I thought the set looked a little bit like I thought it was going to be like Transformers. It was like it looked
Hmm.
like a rundown city in the
Okay.
background, but it made me think like, oh, like that these things could actually move, and maybe that it would look like a city initially, and then it would break down into like a broken part. I thought that would be really cool. Probably add a whole $1 million to the production
Oh,
each
no doubt.
time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was already $1 million set, so now what? Let's make it a $2 million set. And it made me wonder if he thought about that, and things like that. Like so, but he had a great, and his stage was the entire length of a football field.
Okay.
Like it not he had the city, and then he had this big thing that kind of looked like an Emmy or an Oscar.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like in the middle that would turn and light up and stuff like that. And then the stage then carried on like so it was like, and the end zone was the main stage. On the 50-yard line was this Emmy or Oscar thing, whatever it was. And at the other end zone was a smaller stage for him to be able to walk across. And then it also split out. It looked like a cross.
Okay.
And, when you actually look at his whole thing, you could almost think that he was doing the way he was dressed, the way that his performers were also dressed, made it seem like he was doing a sermon.
Oh, interesting.
And ultimately, when you look from really up on high, the stage looked like a complete cross.
Huh.
So
Interesting.
that is kind of cool. And then you think of like the way Pink does her stuff, and the way that Taylor Swift does her stuff, and
Hmm.
stuff like that. And think about this: Taylor Swift wrote an entire album after she got done her tour, and before she announced that she was ready with the album.
Yeah.
So, like, she finished the tour. 2 months later, she came out a whole album.
Yeah.
Now, I got to imagine she worked on some of this stuff during the time. But think about that
Yeah.
just in general. And
I, I'm,
I'm
sure,
not a
I'm
Taylor
sure there
Swift
was
fan.
work on it. I'm sure there was work on it during her tour, even if it was just, thoughts on paper, right?
Well, but you think about this, all right? She's doing a full tour,
Mhm.
world tour,
Sure.
dating a guy, like going through the whole process of starting to date a guy and figure out whether you like him or not and things like that. I mean, you could say whatever you want, but they're still human beings. I know that they are both very popular people, but
Sure.
it's like you got Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift both like doing their own thing. So she's like traveling back and forth, going to Kansas City, going back to the tour,
Yep.
and then like literally and writing an entire album.
I mean, to be fair, that is a lot of flight time. So, like,
Well, I thought that
there's not a
too.
whole
That
lot
was
going on.
immediately as I'm thinking about that, I'm like, well, I guess she could have spent a lot of time on planes, and that that was where she did a lot of her writing. But I got to imagine that when she's with Travis, she's not getting as much writing done.
No, once they're together, yeah, absolutely not. But like for me, I'm really terrible about staying on top of writing articles, right, for sports. It doesn't fit in my day just for whatever reason. You know where I am really good about it is when I'm flying places because I got nothing going on.
Yeah, I wish I could do that. I wish I could work on a plane.
Yeah.
I can't work on a plane. I can't work in the car. I
Okay.
I can't seem to do that. When I write something,
Mhm.
it's got to flow from me pretty easily.
I got
And
you.
I tell you, when I do write, I actually am a really good writer, and I self edit,
Sure.
and my self edits are actually really good as an editor.
Mhm.
Like so, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back or anything. I just when you get a piece from me, it's it's a finished product before
Yeah.
somebody else gets it.
Sure.
Um, but I don't ever do that because it's so time consuming, and if it
I,
doesn't flow from me, I can't get it out.
well, and that's the thing. Like for me, it's so time consuming that I rarely actually write. And but when I'm on an airplane, I'm like, oh, hey, cool. Like I got some time, and there, I can't call anybody, can't do anything. It's like, oh, this is about as perfect a time as I can get, and then it lands, and then it's those articles that I wrote are the last ones I'll write until I get back on an airplane. Really, like.
And there you have it.
I mean, it's funny that you say not in the car though, because in the car is the one time I actually have time to call everybody back, right? So I'll just be hands-free driving, and so very rarely do I actually listen to music in my car. I'm typically just like returning phone calls and stuff like that.
I am. You know what? It's funny that you say that. I am a silent driver.
Okay.
I don't listen to the
Niece doesn't.
radio. I don't. I like. I used to listen to sports talk radio a little bit.
Okay.
I don't do that anymore. It's like I. It's my time to think because I don't really have a lot of time to do the stuff that I'm trying to do. Like just like okay, I'm trying to this or this or this and
Mhm.
but
Yeah, it's hit or miss. Like if I'm not returning phone calls and stuff like that, like sometimes I will be listening to music and sometimes I won't. Like sometimes you've had enough peopling that you just want some silence. Like it is, if I'm coming back from a game, that's in silence almost every time.
nice.
Because you've already talked to a million people. There's all the noise at the game and everything, and you're just like, okay, I need to like just have some quiet time.
No, I get it. Trust me, I get it. Like it sounds funny, but like I said, every time I'm in the car, it's just like and I'm used to driving long distances,
Mhm.
and I don't do that anymore because most of the time I'm working from home.
Oh,
I miss that time. Like
yeah. Mhm.
even if I was going back and forth, I used to have an office in Delaware, and
Okay.
I would go back and forth from Delaware just doing my stuff, and it's like that. Even that 20 minutes to a half hour time, like
Mhm.
I don't get angry with traffic because it allows me to think. Unless of course you have that one guy who just cuts off and then like I can't stand the one that's like weaving in and out of traffic and then you watch him pass you by because he gets stuck behind the tractor trailer and
See,
then he's trying to
that's actually
weave.
why I like that guy because he's getting so mad and he's wasting so much fuel, and then every you know few hundred yards you pass him again, and he's just like losing his mind.
You're
He's
like
like,
you're like waving to him, hi buddy.
yep. Now it's funny, when I was younger, traffic would kind of irritate me, but now I've really come to if I left when I was supposed to leave, that's it. It's all I can control, right? Like I know how long it's supposed to take. I took into account if there's a traffic issue or whatever. I jump on the road. If something happens beyond that, hey, you know what? And it's also a different era that when you show up somewhere and they're like, how come you're late? You're like, I was stuck in traffic. Nobody here in Seattle is going to be like, yeah, right. They're going to be like, yeah, no, I get it. Cool, whatever. Like, I mean, we can have Seattle be an hour away from Seattle at times. So, I mean, like, it's just, you get, as soon as you leave whatever parking spot you're in, you're like, well, that's too bad. Probably should have walked it.
They did something on McDade, you know. So 95 and 476 is a major intersection, obviously.
Okay.
And they did something as you're going from 95 south to 476 north that they made it 5 lanes. Oh, let's get everybody into this 5-lane place and bring it down to 2.
Yeah.
And then you have the problem with the zipper busters. The ones who can't zipper in. They can't figure it out. They got to be up on the ass of the person right in front of them. They're not letting anybody in.
That one car length is important.
Oh my Lord. And I tell you, you know, every once in a while I get to drive you know, my girl's Hummer. And that Hummer is a 12-inch lift. And she's also got a train horn attached to it.
Red.
And if you want to be that guy, not only am I putting my high beams on, but I'm giving you the train. You know, I'm going to scare the living hell out of you because you got to be right up on that person's ass and you don't want to zip her in. You can't let anybody else in. You're too cool and you got to be out faster than everybody else.
Yep. Yeah. No, and you know, those guys are irritating. The ones that'll try and like run you off the highway because they're refusing to let you in. That's where, you know, you wish you could adopt some NASCAR rules of bump to pass. You know, you just give them a little nudge, put them in the wall.
Exactly.
But you get sued. It's a whole thing. Like,
you know, it's so funny that we're talking about this because I actually got into a very, very small fender bender. Wasn't even a fender bender. It actually just all it did was push my muffler in a little bit, but his car got a little damaged. On 76, I am driving and I'm watching this guy come up and I'm like, wow, he looks like he's getting really close. Bunk. And I'm like, that sucks. You know what I mean? And it was such a small bunk to me that I'm like, you know what? I don't see anything hanging. Whatever, I may not even stop. But he pulled off to the side. Now, imagine, I'm painted up.
Awesome.
As the Philly sports guy. So it's like, yeah, this is great. I am the Philly sports guy, and I am pulled over on the side of the road because this guy hit me. And, you know, and he's a 20-year-old kid who's now a little shooken up.
Yep.
Because, obviously, he was texting.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That's what was going on there and not paying attention. And he had the car for like a week.
That sucks.
You know, and you could see exactly where my muffler pipe went through the bumper. And he had the one light all jammed up. And all it did was it kind of pushed my bumper a little bit and it pushed my muffler back where I got to just bang the pipe down a little bit so it doesn't. Half the pipe is like going into the muffler now.
Yeah.
But it's not bothering it. It didn't bother any like the tires or nothing. It wasn't. Sure. It was like a hit at like 5 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So,
I've been bumped a couple of times like that where, you know, we looked and I'm just like, hey, you know, we're good, right?
But he's got the much more damage.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't matter because that's on him. It would have been his fault anyway. Like I've had it where nothing happened to my car, and it's just like, yeah, I mean, sorry your day sucks, but, you know, like, I'm good. So.
And I was telling him, I'm like, listen, you don't want us to go through insurance with this.
Oh, like,
yeah. No offense to you, but you're 20 years old. Your insurance will skyrocket.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure your parents are very happy that I'm telling you this. Like I don't know if you're under your parents' insurance or your own insurance. I'm letting you know right now, you don't want to go through insurance. You want to pay for this to get fixed and nobody know about it as
Yeah,
best as possible.
if it's not a ton of damage, right? Like if it's some superficial stuff, yeah, you want to avoid the insurance.
It was a little bit more than that. It was like it was like his I guess it was his right side headlamp, the quarter panel, the
Mhm.
hood, and the bumper. Just because of where he hit it.
Oh, gotcha.
So it's got a little bit of smush all the way in. So you got to bang out the hood. You're going to have to replace the quarter panel if you're going to do that. You're not going to bang that out any.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just like it's. Yeah, I told him I thought it was a $2,500 gig. You know what I mean? Like that's going to be the mess that he's got to deal with. I said,
sure.
but you could find a guy who's going to do it for like $1,500.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You could find that guy. And I told him I tried to even help him get that. But it was not easy. And he had no idea who I was. I'm painted up on the side of the road, on the side of 76.
funny.
I-76. Everybody's got their phones out. He's like, dude, who are you, man? You a lot of people were taking pictures of you. And
Where's the race?
I'm like, that's because
That's the problem with the world today, right there.
exactly. Because I didn't need to sue him. I'm not doing anything else. If it tries to come back the opposite way, like I have his phone number, you know what I mean? That's what I get. I didn't even take a picture of his license plate. I don't really care that much, you know what I mean? If he took a picture of my license plate and then tries to blame it on me, I have too many witnesses that took pictures of me on 76. You know, say, look at this guy, look at this idiot. It's 76 all painted up. There ain't no Eagles game today, and we
Yeah.
got the Eagles fan painted up on 76. So, I hope he's doing okay. It's like I said, I felt bad for him because you could tell he was shaken up about it, and it's like, and I trust me, and I've been that kid. I knew what that was like when I got my first little fender bender, and it's like, just got this car, and now this car is, wrecked, and $2,500. He works at the YMCA, so I got to imagine that's like 2 months of paychecks. You know what I mean?
Easily. Yeah, at a minimum.
So it's like I'm, I hope the kid's all right. I felt. So
See, and we appreciate that when we appreciate it when people actually let you in.
exactly. As I had to have a sneaky goodbye. So, but anyways, it's yeah,
Well, no,
that's kind of some of the stuff that happens to me. I am actually a very fast driver, but I'm not an aggressive driver. I don't like getting up on people's asses unless unless the rest of traffic is going 75 miles an hour and you got to be the one going 45. And now I'm behind you and I I can't get around.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like,
Well, especially when they're blocking up like the fast lane, the left lane, right? You're just like, if you wanted to do surface street speeds, they have those.
right.
Get out of the way. I had one of those. I actually got pulled over a few weeks ago now. I was leaving a buddy of mine's his bar, and I'm driving. This dude's doing 10 under the speed limit, right? And I'm just like, man, I'm just trying to get home. So I end up popping around this guy, and there was a cop that saw me do it, and so about a mile later, pulls me over and he's like, you kind of got back in front of him a little close there, and where I passed him, it's 2 lanes, but the other lane is like a bus only lane. Right. So you're not supposed to be in that. So I was just like, no, like the guy was doing 10 under the speed limit and I had to jump into a lane that, kind of not supposed to be in. Right. So I was just trying to get back early. And he's like, oh, so it's sort of a road rage thing. I was like, I mean, I wouldn't say it like that, but I mean, can we at least do the speed limit? He's like, no, I got you. He's like, have a good night. Just,
Just tested to make sure like where you're at. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
hey, well, and because really that road rage comment is to see if you're drinking.
No, for sure.
Yeah, that's a drinking question. It's like, I tell you, I would have pulled my gun out, but I don't have it with me.
Yeah, no, it was
It
was
changes
funny.
the whole kind of conversation into that.
Right. Well, it changes which car you're leaving in anyway.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, it was funny. It was just like, no, it was nothing. It's not like I was trying to cut him off and mash the brakes or anything like that. I was just trying to go home, man.
Yeah, it's just like it's funny because as I leave the stadium, when I leave, I usually wait till traffic has died down some, but
Sure.
not all the traffic is 100% gone.
Yeah.
But it's like some of the roads are empty, and I'm stuck at red lights that are red lights for a long time.
Yes. Yeah.
And when I'm painted up, I am a different person when I'm driving. Not because that I get angry or anything. It's just that I know that if there's no cars coming down the road, I'm blowing the red light. You know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
And there's people that have been sitting in that red light waiting, and I go around them and I blow the red light, and then I make the turn and I go on. And I also know that the police, I'm very pro police. Very pro police. Anytime I see a police officer during a game or anything like that, I tell them to stay safe. They all know who I am. They all know that when they call me to ask me to do something for a fundraiser for them, I do it, no questions asked, for no money. You know what I mean? So there's, the police are on my side because I'm on their side. I know that they won't stop me for running those red lights because I'm not like darting out into traffic where there's a whole bunch of cars coming in. Oh, I'm going to get there on the other side before I'm not playing Frogger. I'm just getting out and going along my day.
Who's fixing your tickets?
Nobody's fixing my tickets. Tell them, and trust me, any ticket I get, I got to pay for. But but it's when you give them, like I said, I have a number of FOP cards and stuff like that because like I said, I take care of the police officers. Like they're taking care of us, and I understand that they're not always looked at as the best people in the world. For sure. I'm not trying to get into the politics of this. I just am saying that I would rather, when I need one, be able for them to come.
Yep.
So we do have the red light cameras, and they've now instituted the red light. They've instituted those cameras now on highways where construction's going on. Those are the tough ones because the hard part is that, so you got everybody, it's down to 55 or 45 miles an hour because of construction.
Sure.
And there's no construction going on. It's just now we're in the lanes so the work is done for the day. They're not doing active construction. You got people going 65 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone.
Yep.
And if you go 45 miles an hour, you are actually disrupting the traffic.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so the problem is that with those cameras, everybody starts to get a ticket.
Oh,
and that is so ultimately it becomes like, all right, I don't know that they do things in the right way, like enough. I don't know that they say, okay, we're not giving anybody a ticket because we have to give out 40.
No. That's revenue right there.
Well, but if they got to be careful not to schedule us all on the same day. You can't be all scheduled on the same day because if you're caught by the same camera, like when that camera is hitting you, they also have to show a blow up. So you get hey, we got yours, but you have to see the massive one.
Yeah.
And if you don't ask for that, if you don't ask for that sight line,
Ours
they'll
would
get
also
you.
send you a video. They'd also send you a video from it.
Yeah, not ours. Not
Okay.
yet. They don't do that here. They just hit you with the, hey, we got your license plate. You were going faster than you should. And you can either pay it or you can fight it.
Yeah, no,
And
ours will send you the because they'll send you like an email with it, right? Like they'll send you an actual notice, but then they'll send you an email with the file so you can see what it is,
well,
and then it'll
that's
have
good
to blow
because
up.
they're giving you discovery.
Yeah, exactly. So they
That's a
have to blow
discovery
up, and then they have
situation.
the video, and you're just like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, looks like you got me. Like I can see my face. So yeah, it's been a long time since I've had one, but and we actually have less red light cameras than we used to. The cameras are still up, but a bunch of them are no longer functional. But I guess the one thing about
We'll thank
defunding
Chad
the
for that.
police, yeah, there you go. Defunding the police, some of the stuff doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, but it's funny as we're talking about driving and things like that. Like just like for instance, if you are an out of state person, I don't care where you're at in the world, and you're driving through Ohio, you go only 9 miles over the speed limit at any moment in time.
Oh,
And if
sure.
you and the moment that you're in 35 miles an hour, you go 4 miles.
Yeah.
Like there is no like 5, blue,
Oh, yeah.
10, blue. They're getting you, and they know that you're gonna have to pay because you're out of state. You ain't coming to fight it.
Well, and that is so the town that we have here is just outside of Spokane called Ritzville. And there ain't nothing in Ritzville except them collecting money from people that are speeding on 90 because you just got done with 100 miles of dirt, like literally nothing. And you pop through this little spot of Ritzville. And if you're doing 5 over in a 70, they're going to light you up because they know you're never coming back. Right? You're going to be like, well, you know what? I guess I'm sending them this $150.
Well, but see, there's so many ways that you. When was the calibration done? I want to see the calibration. Like
Yeah,
you
but you
could
got to go
ask.
back.
No. You're allowed to ask those questions right away. So that's part of what's happening. Like you can ask that question right away that they have to show you, and you could take
Oh,
a
you
picture
mean when they
of
pull you over? Yeah.
like when
Yeah.
the calibration was and stuff. And
I mean, for me, it didn't matter because the couple of times I got tickets there, I was doing far more than 5. But so it didn't matter. I was getting pulled over. It could have never been calibrated ever, and it was pretty obvious I was speeding at the time. But yeah, I mean, they're so close over there because they know for a fact that you're never going to drive all the way back out there to fight the ticket. So, but yeah, that was years ago. I don't go to Spokane very much anymore. So,
yeah, because of all the tickets.
well, no. I mean, also yes, but I mean, I don't have a lot that brings me out to Spokane anymore. But so there's that. It's funny that you talked about the choke point though, because we have that here in Seattle where we'll have 5 lanes wide of I-5, and then in the heart of the city, we built a convention center over the top of it, and it's 2 lanes. And you're like, what are we like? Why would you build a building over the highway like that? What is the point of that? Well, you basically guaranteed you can't expand this thing anymore.
And that was some of the other things that I got really angry about with the town that I actually grew up in. Yep. Swarthmore College dictated how the Blue Route was going to get built in general. They are of course they are the number 1, if not number 2, liberal college in the country.
Okay.
And they owned the property. And they said, we only want 2 lanes going in this direction away from the school. So now because of that, like you can't ever enlarge it. It can't
Yeah,
ever now that we have the problem that we do now, that it goes from 5 lanes down to 2, and it's got to go to 2, and they can enlarge it everywhere else except it's got to go through 2 lanes there, and they can't ever do anything else because they do have bridges that go across that again choke us down,
sure.
and it's not like they can, like I wish that they would just get rid of the um like around the bridges. Let's do it to 3 lanes and get rid of the uh shoulders. You
Okay.
know what I mean? Like there's not enough stuff going on there that like you can get the shoulder. Just there's no shoulder at the bridge. How tough is that? You know what I mean? But they also, when they have these fake shootings, they have to have cops be able to get around people and stuff like that. So
Yeah, of course.
Villanova lately with these fake shootings has been weird. Very, very odd in general. You know, I don't know if you guys heard about that,
Mm-mm.
but so first day of classes for Villanova, as we were going up to Dorney Park last year or last
Okay.
week, we're driving up 476 and we have cops going by us at like 100 miles an hour. Like they are blowing past us, and we're like, wow, there must be something really going on. And then we heard that there was an active shooting at Villanova University. Come to find out that it was a false alarm. It wasn't a false
Oh,
alarm. It was a
oh, like
fake.
a training
No,
type of thing.
not training,
Oh, not fit.
not
Oh, okay.
training.
Okay.
It was a fake.
Oh, so they responded like it was real. Gotcha.
Right. Everybody responded like it was real. It was going at, and I think that was happening in Tennessee as well. 2 places, exact same time, fake shootings. And then
That's
it
interesting.
happened again at Villanova 4 days later.
Hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. It's yeah, fake shooters. That's that almost makes you think they're testing response times.
I thought the same thing. However, there were too many different municipalities that showed up like that. Like
Oh,
way too many.
got
Like that's not like listen, you can't do that as a active test
Oh, no, 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 no. I don't mean from the police departments. I mean from somebody that actually who's thinking about doing something.
that they did it twice. And like I said, that how coordinated could it have been that they did this in Tennessee and in Villanova at
Hmm.
the exact same time? And both
Yeah.
were hoaxes.
Or was it to tie up police while you're actually doing a different crime?
That could, I mean, that's of course same situation, but you're not getting everybody. Like if you're creating a crime, or if you're doing a crime in Villanova, and you have all this other police presence showing up, like it was.
No, no, no. You wouldn't be doing it at the school. Like if you were doing something you were trying to do in the middle of town and you wanted to clear out the police and you were to do a hoax like that, these are all hypotheticals. This is not a play-by-play here, people.
Right.
But but like then you're clearing out potential response times, right? Say you were robbing a bank or something like that, right? Like you could see how some of these would be because school shootings do get a lot of response, right? And so, yeah,
Lots of response.
yeah,
Lots of response.
exactly.
There was, I mean, I tell you, I was filming a commercial
Mhm.
at the time, and it was like, zoom, 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 zoom. And I'm like, I literally said, I'm filming this commercial. And next thing you know, there's all these cops driving by.
Yeah,
Like, I was like, whoa, what's going on? I mean, it was, it was a scary thing to be on the road passing by it at that time.
yeah, yeah. I like that Brad is trying to get us back on track. uh,
Yeah, I don't. I think neither one of those are the MVP this year.
yeah, I don't think either one of them win it either. Again, like if Burrow wasn't gonna win it last year, he's not gonna win it this year, right? I mean, he was probably statistically his best year ever, but his team sucks, and so there's, you do have to have wins to win the MVP. Like that is an element. So, but yeah, now crazy stuff.
Yeah, the world's going to hell in a handbasket.
That it is. That it is. Yeah. One. I guess moving into some sports. I guess since we're a sports show, why not?
Exactly.
So we let MVS go at the 53-man cuts, right? Because we had a rookie that we wanted to ensure had a spot in Torrey Horton, and who had a great camp. So I get it. And then immediately the 49ers pick up MVS. So that'll be interesting to see how it is they utilize him, or are they just like, hey, we want to pick your brain about what you saw in these playbooks? Because, I mean, I could see that.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Like that's a part of what I would think happens a little bit. There was something that I read today before I came on the show,
Mm-hmm.
about how the Rams it went exactly like this. It was on Facebook, and
Okay.
it said there is an unwritten rule that if you are if you waive a guy due to injury,
Okay.
that the other teams don't pick him up. That we let him go through waivers so that you could put him on the injured reserve lists for you.
Oh, okay.
And that the Rams put an offensive lineman on that waived injured reserved list that Howie Roseman picked up.
Okay.
Now, I know that you'd be happy about that.
I mean, it's funny is what it is.
And I've never heard that unwritten rule.
Me either.
It's like I've never heard anything like that. I don't know. Like I said, I don't trust anything I read on the internet anymore because
Well, certainly not based.
AI sucks
Yes.
in a big, big way.
Yeah.
So um
And Rob, releasing Jarek Reed, you knew that was going to happen. He's been injured. They didn't really need him. Again, 53-man cuts, they're brutal.
but I actually, and I heard that one of my favorite players, he's not the greatest of players, but one of my favorite players in the league got released, and I just don't expect that he's going to get picked up by anybody else. The Green Goblin is now a free agent. He's a cornerback. Anybody wants to grab him, go ahead. He's got a green mohawk, like me most of the time. Just unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be picked up anymore. Although it's possible that I wouldn't be surprised that he goes to a West Coast team, though.
I mean, if he's a corner, Miami could use some help.
Yeah, I think he got cut from either Miami or Tampa or something. It's
okay.
just
The Bengals could use any defense.
True.
I mean, they won't get him. They'll find another receiver or something stupid. But
that's who I'm talking about, Jalen Mills.
Yeah.
I didn't want to. I feel bad. I was just like, I don't want to. The Green Goblin, who I think just had a baby. I mean, a little while ago, but had a baby, and was really good for a little while, but Just I think he's now a step too slow, and he always got beat by the double move.
Yeah, see, that's always tough. Like that was one of the things that was always tough with. Oh man, why am my mind blanking his name? He was a great DB. He just the double move got him all the time. Well, that's frustrating. That's going to bother me now because especially
Who
because
did he play for?
Seattle. It's back in the Hasselbeck era.
Oh Christ, I couldn't tell you anybody.
Man, like I don't know why I'm mind blanking. I know the guy. Wow. Well, there you go. Apparently it's that day.
Browner?
No, it wasn't Browner. It was before Browner. He was a Coug, when he played in college. But
you know what I am?
Yeah.
Well, first off, how about the Vikings trying to bring back Thielen? Adam Thielen.
Are they?
Yeah, they did. They just traded
Okay.
for him. The Panthers receive a 2026 fifth-round pick and a 2027 fourth-rounder, while the Vikings get Thielen and a conditional 2026 seventh-round selection and a 2026 seventh-round selection and a 2027 fifth-round pick. So it's very interesting how the math works out with that. But Thielen going back to the Vikings. McLaurin shows up for practice.
It's definitely that. It's yes. Could also be that I was on like 7 shows yesterday and I'm just tired.
And then Rashee Rice suspended 6 games.
Yep.
And the Colts are saying that they're not going to trade Richardson. How about that?
Okay. So I wonder what the plan is there then.
So I don't know. Keep him, even as he's unhappy.
I mean that doesn't seem great.
Well, that's the way the world works sometimes. Sometimes you got to deal with the crap. Look at the Cowboys. How about Juwan Jennings?
Crap and being crap are very different.
Juwan Jennings saying, I want to trade. And John Lynch saying, nope. End of story on that. How about that? There you go. Jay Cutler sentenced to 4 days in jail for a DUI.
That had to have been a funny stop.
And then, of course, Kyle Hamilton, $100 million richer, agreed to a 4-year, $100.4 million extension. He's the highest paid safety in NFL history.
There you go.
Guaranteed money at $45 million. Interesting stuff.
Absolutely.
I didn't know that he was that good of a safety. And who else is there? They're talking about Parsons ramping up when he returns, if he returns.
Trufant. There we go. Marcus Trufant. I was like, man, why am I just mind blanking here? He was the guy that just excellent in coverage until it was a double move, and then he was 2 steps behind.
I'm trying to see if there was any big drops that were like, okay, this is. I mean, other than Tommy DeVito, which
huge drop.
That was monstrous. It was just like, damn, I tell you, after having Russell Wilson and Dart play, I mean, I couldn't understand why DeVito wouldn't be on that team anymore.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't any like huge ones. I was a little surprised to see Renfro get released. I did think, coming off his illness, they were going to let him. They were going to bring him along. Um, it's funny that you say that, Rob, because I hadn't seen that anywhere yet, and he's actually still on their depth chart. So, because I saw you post that up a little bit, and so I was looking, and it still shows on their depth chart. So, so I can't verify that one, but at the same time, they let him go before, so that's not a huge shock. Browns pick up DeVito. I mean, why not get some more?
I heard they need more people in that.
Well, yeah, they got rid of a couple guys. You got to fill that room back out.
Well, and he is quarterback 3 behind Flacco and Gabriel.
Oh, Shador, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's funny because people are so mad about that, and I don't know why they're mad. When you look at the third game, he gets sacked like 5 times in 11 plays or something. But the biggest thing is even the ones that he didn't get sacked, he was putting himself in trouble, right? So he kept dropping back out of the pocket, and you could watch. He actually had decent coverage, but once you drop back too far, that DN gets to release, right? And then he gets to come after you. If he were to climb the pocket like you're supposed to do, let those guys get defended out behind you, which is exactly what Dylan Gabriel did. Not that Gabriel looked amazing either, but he's at least doing those fundamental things, right? So say he's not getting the passes completed. Okay, well, those things can take some time to get on the same page with receivers, whatever, right? Also, he doesn't have to start, week 1 either. But when you are moving yourself into trouble, that'll slide you down a depth chart. Like that just is what it is. It's just fundamental football. I don't know why people watching film or watching it on TV aren't seeing these things. Like, I don't know what kind of rose-colored glasses you're wearing, but if you're playing the fundamentals incorrectly, you need more coaching, which is fine, but it also means you're not starting.
Right.
Their fans are annoying. I mean, you're not wrong. But yeah, that one has been, a funny one to watch because the pro Shador fans thinks he can do no wrong. He's the best quarterback to ever play the game. And then the anti-Shador are like, he should have never been drafted. He shouldn't be in the league. It's like, he can be a serviceable guy. He's just not going to be, a Lamar Jackson or a Josh Allen. Like he isn't that dude. Can he be serviceable in the league? Sure. Is he ready to be that guy yet? No. And that's why he's not. And that's okay. Like, I don't know. That stuff cracks me up.
I agree.
And I even get that fan is short for fanatic and you guys are, going to lose your mind over stupid stuff. But at the same time, like, let's understand that not all rookies are ready to go.
There we go. Shaquille. That's why Shaquille got dropped.
Gotcha. All right. So that must have happened, last night then? Because, that's probably why the depth chart isn't updated yet. But adding some more defense, just changing defense, I guess. But, yeah. All right. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, it is what it is.
We did actually start there. So
yeah,
we talked about baseball for like 3 minutes. And then
not even. I think we have actually talked about it before we even started the show. Because I think we started with 9 Inch Nails. So no, we're not going to talk about that.
That's right. We were talking about Ohtani before the camera started. And that's where that segment's going to stay. Is before the camera started because it's Ohtani and who cares?
Right. And the Mets and who cares?
And the Mets, yeah.
Yeah, so the Mets suck except when they play the Phillies when they just happen to be the best team in baseball at that point.
Pretty much, yeah.
And on that note,
that does get us there. If you've been watching along with us and you enjoyed our traffic report, be sure to like and subscribe. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. I think everybody else has the day off, so we're gonna bother you by myself. And so there we go. Other than that, take it easy, everybody.
Later, guys.